All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting started in a moment here with RG versus Rage. This is a match in DGL Season 4, Round 2. This is Division 2 games, so both of these teams are pretty well capable. They're both pretty high skill levels. We're going to be playing here on Hideout. We're just waiting for the remaining players to get into the server. It shouldn't take too much longer. I apologize for the delay. A little bit of confusion with the map selection and the server choice. If you're unfamiliar with the map, this B objective is a very active objective. The map is obviously centered around it. There's not a whole lot of AC play early in the round. Occasionally you will see a flank on this left side of the map over by Chef, but usually we see a lot of combat centered around B. We'll have people up in Billboard here, this building here. We'll have people over here in yellow. And then on the security side, we're going to see people at Bunker and at Shrine. Gonna take a look. So it looks like the RG is going to be on in security side for the pistol round. So generally speaking, probably a slight advantage with the Glocks. The map plays differently without grenades and pre-nades, so the insurgent side is not that much of a disadvantage when you don't have to deal with the stopper nade. So we will see. Looks like we're just waiting on the 5th RG, which I believe is Residue. This is an NA versus EU team, so Rage has decided to opt for a German server, as is their choice. And on the next map, RG will get to pick a server favorable to them. So you can see the ping's a little bit higher. Rick has actually joined RG and is an EU player, because we are obviously allowing international teams. So Rick has a little bit of the opposite effect, where he's going to have good ping on this first map, and then he's going to struggle a bit when RG picks a server friendlier to the rest of their roster. Looks like Django's going to be our submachine gun player, though we are going to do a pistol round first. Where is Residue? And we've lost a couple of the Rage players. If you're not aware about the DGL season going on, you can go ahead and go to thedgl.com. Oops, I don't know where my camera went there. Thedgl.com has links to the DGL Discord and has information about the season. The season has a round every month, and you can join at the beginning of each round. So if you're interested, you're not on a team yet, hop in the Discord, find some people to pug with, play some games, casual, competitive, and then as we approach the beginning of February, we can be looking to help you find a team. Gonna go ahead and put us on a waiting screen while I try and figure out what the holdup is, and we will be back in just a moment, guys. Stick around. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually live with the pistol round. Both teams rushing out of spawn here. Gonna hop on board with Rick. He's gonna be the B player, pushing into B. Gets into mid B. He's gonna watch. He almost sees a player, doesn't see a player. One of Rage waiting at the window. We see Ensign pick up Django Fett. That's one kill. Now Residue answers back on Plahota. Rick catches a bullet, stays alive, doesn't know this player's sitting on port. Simmer gets taken down by Ensam and B. Rick is able to refrag onto easy. Rick, looking for this player, barely misses the guy on port. We've got two players running around billboard. Ensam, no, there's a player here. Wallen is able to pick up Rick. Now we've got Residue and Wallen on B. Residue able to get the kill on Wallen. He knows there's a player at A. These two caps are going to be pretty close to each other. But Ensam is able to pick up Dinked in billboard. So now Residue has to worry about billboard. And I don't think he knows Ensam is here. Well, now he does because they're stale. So this is going to let Rage cap back in. Ensam just stalling. And Residue stepping off the point to fight Rubble and has to make a play. It's 5v1. He's pretty much in the worst spot possible. And he's going to drop. Ensam getting another kill onto Residue to finish the round. That was quite a few kills by Ensam. Yeah, he got 3 that round. So, Rage will win the round. They will decide which side to start as for the official match rounds. RG really not getting a lot of presence on the map, unfortunately. I think they focused on the flanks a little bit more than they needed to. And we'll take a look at loadouts here in a second before we get into the round. Look like Ensam is going to be our B player. Or if not the B player, at least he's playing flank, and he has a Honey Badger. The rest of the team, it appears, are all running M14s. No? Yep, that's an M14. This looks like it might be live. Nope, it's not live. Over on Insurgents, we've got Rick with an FAL. It looks like everybody besides Dinked has an FAL. No, see? The UI is just wrong. So Residue's working an FAL. Django is their flanker player using the MP5. We will have to see what Dinked is using here in a moment. Simmer with an FAL. Dinked is using the Garand with a scope. That is interesting. So I'm going to hop on board with Dinked and see if he can get this cross pick. He gets blocked out of spawn, which is going to make it a little tricky, but he still should have time. So he's going to be trying to pick the player as they enter B. It's going to be interesting to see which angle. Dinked is going to a different angle than what I've seen traditionally. Maybe this gives him a better shot, but it takes him farther from the action. As you can see, a regular spread coming out of Rage. Oh, Dinked isn't going for the B player. He's looking for an A pick, I think. Well, we're going to leave him and hop on board with Rick really quick. He's contested on B. Django gets a frag onto easy. And RG manages to get market control and B control. Really nothing happening. I'm surprised Rage is playing this slow. Wallen, top bunker, looking for kills, but there's nobody in billboard really to challenge him because Django's in market and that's the only person on this side of the map. There is a flank coming in. Oh, Plahota takes out Django. Rick captures B. Ensam takes out Rick. So there's 4 up, 1 from spawn. Plahota is getting on B. Trying to counter cap. We're going to see Residue over here find a player near Chef. Gets the kill onto Fishy. They're not pushing into this B cap though. Plahota's still got good progress. Residue probably is going to go A, and we're going to see if Simmer can find this player on B. Nade comes in. He's stale. He doesn't know this guy is Cat. Now probably knows because I think he took shots. Both of these players now contested. We'll have to see if Wallen can see anything. Not yet. Both teams playing one on the objective, one off. Now Dinked has stepped on. He's got this Garand, which is not really what he's looking for in this situation. And we are capping. Residue capping A. Oh! Wallen able to take out Dinked. That still hasn't cleared the objective, though. There's still one mid, but Wallen now is going to try and peek in, and they're going to pinch, and Simmer goes down to Wallen, but Residue is going to cap. So there's 5 up. And we're going to swap caps because Rage will cap up B. Rage is in a better position to spawn camp and get to C. Wallen's going to race over to C. Residue goes and gets lost somewhere near the edge of the map, probably just trying to stay alive. But it'll be interesting. I want to see if Wallen can actually get to C, because if he can, that's huge. But he's going to be met by Simmer. Simmer doesn't stop. Wallen hasn't touched C yet, so none of RG wait. And Wallen's going to get 2. Wallen gets 2. Dinked across the map, does take out 1 at B. Residue able to take down 2 going into A. So we've really traded out here. Wallen touched C and then left. Rick doesn't know that. He's still focused on C, but Wallen heard that grenade pin. I think he's come back to look for him, but I think Rick's going to see him. Yep, Rick takes him out in the side. So now, Fish last alive on his team, while RG has 3, and they're spread across the whole map. So one of RG should be getting on B. I'm not sure why they're not racing to B. I think they think there's still a player at C. And Fish gets taken out by Residue. So it didn't matter, but a little bit surprised how much focus they were. RG was paying attention to C at the end of that round. They should have known they cleared that. Very frantic round. Both teams getting a cap. Both teams spawn killing to a certain degree, getting 2 kills out of spawn, and then trying to cap the other team's home objective. But the RG was just able to answer with more kills at the end of the round. I want to see what Dinked is trying. I don't actually know what he's hoping to get out of this cross pick. We will see if I can notice it early. I assume he's looking at top A. People like to play on that balcony, but he's going here so early. I'm just surprised that... Oh, this has got to be not live. Yeah, Rage lost a player, so we're going to be waiting a moment while they reconnect. Maybe Dinked is just looking for a Rubble player. I've never seen somebody play this position. It seems very unusual. Obviously, if it, gets kills, it can be valuable. But look how far, he's going to sit here for the first 20 seconds of the round. Usually people sit at least up on this building that Dinked is looking at now, which is a good 20 feet, 30 feet closer, which makes it a little bit quicker. And more importantly, at that forward position at the other building, you're looking at B, which is a more active position. There's always going to be somebody going B from the other team. Dinked may spend the first 30 seconds of a round not seeing anybody, which is a little bit surprising. Just waiting on the 5th Rage member to reconnect. Not sure what has taken so long. Hopefully they get it settled. So this is week 1 of round 2 of this season. So these teams have now been grouped by skill, and this match is in Division 2, which is quite high skill. It's not the top of the league, but all of these teams are looking to play well for these next 3 weeks and then break into Division 1, as they will do. Both of these teams regionally probably considered the best non-top team. I mean, RG has never really cracked the surface of the top NA teams consistently. They can win a game, but it's not a consistent victory. And similarly, Rage Red puts a lot of work in and has a lot of skill in the team, but has never really been able to set themselves as an equal to AOG and POG. So both of these teams looking to kind of have an opportunity to prove themselves. And I do not know what is taking so long for Rage to get their last player back in. Interesting strategic choice from RG to not put somebody in Billboard, but to push, I believe it was Django, all the way out onto Market. So if we look at the map, the most traditional way, not that every team does it, but the most traditional way is to put one player in these windows at the top of a billboard, this building on the center of your screen. And RG skipped that altogether, and they pushed one out into Market. Now, pushing one out into Market here, these boxes, is not unusual, but usually it's with support from Billboard. Sending a guy solo into Market is a little bit like asking to get killed with no ability for your team to refrag. Obviously, Yellow and Hesco's, these positions back here, These positions can see into market to a certain extent, Hesco's being this cube below and then yellow being this building, but they don't have the same sightline that Billboard usually would. So it'll be interesting to see if Dinked intends to rotate into Billboard. That's what I would assume, but again, he's playing so far back. He's playing at that rear building in the top right corner of the screen. He's got to run a good 40, 50 yards just to get up to Billboard. That's going to take him 10, 15 seconds. If Django dies in market, there's nothing Dink's going to be able to do about that early. Looks like the last player on Rage is either officially MIA or has completely lost connection or can't be reached because they're now talking about possibly moving towards a sub. We'll have to see what the decision is. Teams are allowed to use subs, or as we call them, ringers, from off of their roster in the event that they don't have enough to play at match time, whether it's before the match starts or whether it's somebody crashes out. Teams are obviously encouraged to have rostered substitutes standing by, but particularly with an international competition and playing at afternoon hours and, well, at least afternoon for the NA, it's not always possible. So hopefully they'll be able to find a fifth to sub in as a ringer pretty soon and get this game started, because, I mean, this already started a little bit late. We are 30 minutes into their window, and they have played one round, though it was an exciting round. All right, well, I'm going to put us on a waiting screen and talk to these guys and figure out what the timeline's looking like. We'll be back here in just a moment with more gameplay from round 2 of Season 4 of the DGL. We've got Rage versus RG. See you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you an update. We are still waiting. I have no idea why, and I don't know when they're going to start, but I think they're still looking for a sub. Um, the teams are allowed to be flexible and allow their opponent more time than the rules would, generally speaking, allow, but uh, Rage is certainly in a position where if RG wanted to push the issue, Rage would have to play with 4 or just give up. But it seems like RG is being kind and allowing more time to find a sub. I don't know if admins have started talking to the teams or intervening or anything like that, but right now we are still waiting, and I just wanted to let you guys know that this game will continue at a point whenever they decide to start. Sit tight and, grab a drink, eat some ice cream, whatever makes you happy, and we'll be back soon. All right, folks, we are back. They started the round just about as fast as I've ever seen, so theoretically this is live and counting. We've got Rage on point, Easy's capping, he's got 50%, and nobody's died yet, it looks like. Sorry, no, Fish and Gerbs, one each on each team have died. Now he's contested by this RG player right in front of him on B. Everybody else around the map kind of just paired up, scouting each other. Plahota gets Simmer, and we see Residue get take out Easy on point. Just like that, we've got Ensum last alive. He sees this player in B, or at least should have seen, but he flashes himself, which is going to slow things down considerably. Now he needs to navigate carefully because I don't know that he knows this player is Market looking for him. And that's Django looking for him there. So you get Residue on point, Django watching for Market. It looks like Ensum might be aware. Oh, he doesn't see him. He definitely doesn't know. And I wonder if... Oh, this is... Well, that's an insanely lucky shot. surprised Ensign has not died. And he's going to miss the shot, so Django is going to finish. And just like that, we finally finished a second round of this game. Glad if you're sticking around that you're still here. Sorry for the delay. Thanks for your patience. And RG goes up 2-0. So what's happened now is that Ensom is back. He has returned. I don't know if he fixed his internet or what. Maybe he drove to the local Starbucks and connected from there. Of note, Gerbs has subbed in for Rick on RG's side, so they're all the North American players on the roster now. That's just a swap. They're allowed to do that. And we will see. I still want to see if Dinkt is trying to do this cross pick. He's still got the Grand, but he's not going to the same location. Let's see what he's going to do with it. Somebody else is doing the cross pick. It looks like Gerbs is doing the cross pick. I really don't understand, but we'll see. Residue here going for the shots as the player enters B, but nobody's there. Rage has gone the other way to get into B. Easy, waiting. Oh, okay. Slipped in. Simmer does get a nade onto Rage, below. And Easy is capping. Rage takes out Wallen takes out Residue. Django looking for this B player. Just barely hidden behind the wall. He's trying to slow peek, the B player is. We'll see if Django can find him. Fish takes out Simmer. Fish is over at A, sitting up on the balcony. We'll have to see if Easy sees anybody here in B. Ensom is playing very passive, just waiting for a river push. Easy almost got the cap, but now he was stale. And there's two RG players very close proximity. Not sure what Gerbs is worried about. Dinkt is able to take out Wallen on the right side. Let's see if this nades gets Easy a kill. It does! No. Okay. Easy was able to get the cap because I believe Fish was able to clear it. Well, I lost track of all that altogether, but Rage was able to clear out the round. I'm surprised because it looked like RG had a good setup to try and contest and then clear B. I'm not quite sure how the kills came down to allow Rage to pull that one out, but strange round. We do see both Gerbs and Dinkt going for an early cross pick. And we saw that Rage was ready for it. I don't think either of them got a pick out of it. I guess Gerbs did get kills during the round, but I don't think it was the early cross pick. I'll have to stick and pay more attention to that. Easy right now, struggling a little bit. 0-4. He may have disconnected during the pause, so he may have had kills before then, because it will clear your kills, but let's see about... Dinkt is doing a closer cross pick, trying to get Easy as he's entering B. I want to try and see if Easy is going to go faster, if he's going to wait in alley again. There in the distance you can see Gerbs up on his building. Yeah, so Easy's going to go just into alley and wait. Nade, oh, almost gets him, but nothing yet. Gerbs is able to push into B. Taking shots from bunker, doesn't get killed. We've got Django pushing right side. Simmer gets Wallen with a nade. Now Gerbs is contested on B. Looking for a player bus and market. Doesn't see anybody yet. Django's about to come on this flank. There's so many enemies in front of him, but he doesn't see them with the smoke. He's got to watch the smoke, otherwise the smoke's going to clear and he's going to die. Yep, taken down by Ensom, who is laying in alley. We've got Rage and Gerbs contested on B. Ensom doesn't know this player is sandbags, and we've got a wide flank going with Residue, but Fish is over there and may pick up this kill. Fish is going very wide looking for this kill, and Dinkt is not top yellow, so he's not going to be able to support. Residue is going to get caught by Fish if Fish goes wide enough. It looks like Dinkt is moving in so that RG is going to make a push onto B. Fish and Ensom basically looking at each other, though obviously building in the way. Dinkt looking for this player on B. He may find one here, Low Shrine. The Low Shrine players are going to start looking at each other. Low Shrine and Dinkt on Rubble. Residue and Fish have to know, or at least Residue seems to know that Fish is there, but they're being very careful. It looks like Residue is... Oh! Fish is able to take out Dinkt off of Rubble. So Residue knows he's there, but it looks like Residue is going to opt to just try and touch A. We'll have to see if Fish turns around or not. Fish is going to continue on to C. And Plahota is going to try and at least contest. We'll have to see if he plays it. Yeah, he's going to play it passive and just focus on contesting. See, B is stalled, so right now Rage can get C, which means I expect to see Simmer and Gerbs try and make a move here. Residue possibly as well, but looks like Simmer's going to be the person to move. He does get seen by that porch. We'll have to see if he can pick him off. Shots coming. Ensom laying on porch does take out Simmer. This puts RG in a very difficult position. They're contested everywhere they are. They need a cap. Oh. Ensum also takes out Gerb, so now B is clear, and the last player alive is Residue. Residue does take out Plahota. I'm surprised that Plahota pushed in. Obviously, there was a cap coming, so he is going to respawn. This is going to give RG a lot of... Well, if they can get this respawn off, it's going to give RG a lot of momentum. They're still obviously in the hole, and Residue leaves to focus on the spawn camp. He is very much out of time, and he's going to get taken out by Ensum. He needed to contest another objective, because if Rage had capped B, they would have won outright on the timer. But with that round, Rage brings it back to 2-2. A messy round. We saw Fish and Residue dance around Chef for a good minute of the round. And RG really did not seem to want to take an aggressive position on B once they lost a couple of players. They really just sat and waited to try and have Residue get onto A. And when that didn't work out because Residue was contested, RG just didn't seem to have a plan to move forward. So again, RG gonna have to see if these spawn camps are getting anything done. Dinked going wide river. I would assume he's gonna try and get a shot onto bunker. I'm gonna see if I can hop on board and see him do that. It's a little bit wider. He's slower here in the water than if he was on dry land, so I'm confused as to why he's doing it, but he's definitely gonna... No, he's gonna nade. He's gonna get shot. Wow, that bunker player doesn't peek him at all. Gets very lucky. The bunker player pushing up Wallen into Mark. Doesn't find anybody and is smoked off of B. We're contested. Easy and Gerbs both on B. Wallen finds the kill into Django and Market. He's going to push into Billboard. Simmer has not reacted. Wallen's going to find Simmer. Simmer should have heard a call out from a teammate and reacted there, but he didn't. So Wallen's got 2, and everybody else on his team's alive. Dinked has flanked now, so Dinked is over by Bus and Mark. And Gerbs is obviously aware that there's a player in Billboard, but Dinked looking for Wallen as well. Residue again going wide left, and Fish here waiting for him. Again, not face-to-face. Residue should find this kill if he looks right. He doesn't notice the player behind ambulance. Would have been just a pixel. Fish sees him, so Residue's down. Ensum finds Dinked. We're last alive on Gerbs. Does get a nice shot onto Wallen and Market, but it's 3v1. 4v1, I mean. Now he gets Fish. Now it's a 3v1, and he's blind, so there's very, very little hope for him. Rage able to pull another round back. And of note, Rage, generally speaking, playing the better side. So we're you know, apples to apples, we would expect Rage to win more rounds on this starting half. Obviously, every strategy is different, but the security side with that stop grenade is generally considered to be pretty powerful. Easy, still not doing a whole lot, though he didn't seem to get in too many engagements that round. Wallen and Ensum. Ensum, in particular, is carrying a lot of the weight when it comes to kills, and we see a very even spread on Insurgents. So, I want to see what Dinked is planning here, because he seems to be... Not sure it's worth it, but he seems to be doing the most creative work. RG very much playing a slow, passive game. Dinked is going to pre-break these windows. That's 3 out of his 8 shots already spent, so he's going to need to reload at some point, which is a little bit confusing. Simmer chooses not to rush into B. They're going to wait out this stop grenade. Dinked playing... Wallen gets Gerb. Residue is going to push into B, though, so not playing the left edge. He's actually a B player. He's got a QBZ, which is a 2-shot and not a whole lot of wallbang potential. So that'll be interesting to see, at least compared to an M15. A little bit of peeking, a little bit of spraying. Oh! Simmer is able to take down Fishy on Rubble. Missed that just barely, but he's going to get hunted by a top Shrine player here in a moment, I would assume. Plahota's looking for him. I have to see if Simmer... Oh! Django nades easy. Ensum responds by killing Django. And just like that, we have flipped. Simmer is going to get taken out by Plahota. Now, Residue does respond by killing Wallen, so we are in a 1v1. Residue's on point and knows where Plahota is. Plahota's going to have to try and push in. He's coming through the window, so now Django knows he's on. And Django just can't finish the kill. He gets, I believe, 1 hit. But it's a 2-shot kill with that QBZ. And the FAL... Sorry, the M14 from Plahota takes him out in 1. Difficult peak, but Django was probably in the position to win that. Was that Django? Was that Residue? Either way. Tough break for RG. I was surprised they were able to pull that back again, because it did look like Rage had a setup that was going to hold, but they managed to frag a little bit and only barely lost it at the end, just in a 1v1. So RG definitely in the hole right now, but not out of contention. A little bit of confusion as they leave spawn, it looks like. I want to see if there's anything interesting to watch from the security side. Wallen going wide to bunker. Fish obviously going to play A. Ensom and Easy going straight up the middle. I want to see if Ensom's going to look at green car. Yeah, and I don't think he's going to see anything because I don't believe RG has been crossing. A lot of teams will cross there. Not RG. Gerbs gets on B and completely uncontested, so he's going to be able to get this player on porch because he can push all the way into cash. He's got to be careful. Bunker saw him jump here, so now he's... Okay, he crosses back to mid to get safe because Bunker did see him, and he could have been naded out of cash pretty easily. RG in a great position. Fish has decided to push up. Dink takes out somebody from Billboard. Gerbs looks away at the wrong time. Residue finds Plahota. That was a teammate, so it didn't matter that Gerbs looked away. And right now, Fish is last alive. So just like that, RG is able to completely... Fish takes that kill, but it's just going to let the other team know where he is and have them start rotating quicker. They are going to cap B in a moment. It looks like they've left B. They're going to wait until they get into a couple more engagements. Gerbs and Dink are going to come try and contest Fish on C, and then Simmer will cap them back in if they die. Fish using a slim sightline to try and see enemies who are coming to push him. We'll have to see if that pays off. There is an enemy. Gerbs is about to push in. Fish is going to find him, but we expect a cap on B to come in any second from Simmer. Yep, Simmer's going to cap, so we're going to trade caps here, and it's going to be 5 up for both. But Fish and Rage are in a much worse spot. Dinked here looking for Fish. Fish is able to spray at spawn. Doesn't get any kills. Neither team's getting kills yet. Both teams. Dinked kills Fish. Residue out here looking for spawn kill. Nobody's come to him, but we do see Plahota and Ensign both playing slow. Easy's going to A. Residue's giving up this cap, which is a little strange, but Gerbs is going to be able to get C. We'll have to see if Easy... Dinked and Simmer both get a kill, so really, Plahota's going to try and cross the street, and Easy's trying to find this guy who's right above him, I believe. Yep, Residue's on the balcony. Dinked gets Easy. Ensom, again, doesn't know this player's above him, it seems. Yep, he thinks there's somebody on, so he's giving his position away, and Residue is going to jump down and take. Simmer finishes Plahota over in Shrine, and that's the round. So that's a good round from RG. They had that round controlled pretty much from the get-go. Great work trading the objective. Definitely took the advantaged position, even though Fish was able to cap C. So, good control and master of the strategy and the rotations there. I was surprised that Gerbs was able to push so far across B. That gave them some control pretty early. Gerbs preventing Rage from contesting B set the tone for most of the round. We'll have to see if Rage takes a different position or a different line to B to try and slow them down. I'm going to hop on with Easy and Ensom. One of them will go B. And I want to see, I believe Easy will jump in. Let me find him. We'll have to see if one of them actually tries to get on fast. They know that the crosspick is coming in, but as you can see, it looks like RG has actually abandoned the crosspick, unless Simmer's doing it, which I don't believe he does. No, he is. And he's going to shoot but miss, so Easy is on the objective. Gerbs is going to contest now that the stop grenade is popped. He's spraying at nothing. Doesn't know that, though. It's preemptive. Probably got spotted by Bunker there. Ensom does take out Django. That's Rubble side. Ooh, Wallen takes out Dink. That's Market side. Residue answers with a kill on Fish. So now Residue controls the left edge. Gerbs is still contested, and Simmer is trying to watch Porch and Shrine. Gerbs playing aggressive, though, pushing in. He's going to get spotted if there's a player Rubble, but I guess he just has faith. And Plahota's trying to hold the left edge to make sure Residue doesn't make this cross, which he's about to do. Plahota's looking away. Plahota, terrible timing. They're not going to see... Oh, now they spot. And now Gerbs kills Easy on B as Residue gets the kill on to Plahota. So now RG in a dominant position, but they have to deal with this market push. Simmer's going to get one of them as he tries to cross the street. Doesn't know the other one's in market, it seems. Gerbs is not looking in the right direction. Yeah, they definitely don't know this guy's market. So we're going to see what Wallen can find. Wallen knows this man. Simmer is at Broken Wall. He's not going to peek at the right time. He's going to get shot by Simmer. And again, RG picks up another round, bringing it back to 4-4. All right. So now at 4-4. Rage probably wants to be winning a couple more rounds this half because, again, security is generally the favored side. Not by a lot, but significantly. We're going to have to see if they're going to switch up. Fish has switched to being more on rubble than top A in the last couple rounds. We heard a cross pick come in. Didn't seem to hit anything. We're going to see if Easy can get in here and survive. Everybody gets into B. Gerbs and Easy both able to contest. Wallen's pushed up into Mark. He's going to get caught here by Django. No, yep, Django was able to take out Wallen. Plahota refrags. And watching this river push, Rage keeps doing this and it doesn't seem to get them enough value. Easy will get the kill on the window player, Residue. But now, Gerbs knows exactly where he is. Plahota's watching Rubble. They have good Rubble control. They really need to focus on market side. I don't know that Rage is as aware of how much of the map they control. Fish, watching middle, now looks away. If Gerbs comes down off that shelf, he is going to get shot by Fish. Simmer looking for another player. Gerbs trying to get a wallbang. Knows there's a player in that area, but not lined up, so he's not going to get the kill. Maybe running low on ammo, because it doesn't look like he has an ammo vest. Ensum gets one. Simmer, who is lurking behind B. He may not know that their player is mid. It looks like he does assume that Gerbs is mid. He's going to get taken out from top billboard here. Dink looking for him, finds the kill. Dies to Plahota, good refrag. So now it's a 3v1. Gerbs is going to push in and get taken out by Ensum. Gerbs knew approximately where that was. I guess Gerbs decided that in a 3v1 it's better to clear the objective and then defend it. So Rage goes up one round. 5-4. This will be the last round on this half. But still, even if Rage wins the next round, 6-4 is not the best round spread on a favored side. So I expect to see RG bring a lot of rounds in their favor once we flip. Halftime being in the lead is not always enough. Sometimes you need a good margin because the two sides are not even. I want to see if I can see Simmer do this cross pick. He hasn't hit it in a few rounds, but I believe he's going for it as Easy gets onto porch and into B. If he gets that kill, it's huge because it's going to let Gerbs get onto B. He's not going for it, maybe? Looks like everybody's abandoned it. We're going to see if Gerbs can get onto B. Gerbs does get a nade onto Easy. That's huge because that's the B player. So again, Gerbs on B contested, getting shot to heck by probably the bunker player, but Plahota's going to try and touch B now. He is going to make it on safely. It's going to be interesting. He doesn't see Gerbs up top. That's the strength of the shelf. So now we're going to see Ensum try and contest. Ensum's going to get naded by Django from sandbags. RG has successfully slayed out everybody who's tried to push B. Simmer doesn't know this guy is market. I don't know why Dinked and Django are stacked up so much on green. And Fish super wide. Dink now rotating. Fish coming back though. He may see this person. He may see Django if Django comes around the wall, but he doesn't. Dinked looking for Fish. He sees him, but he's going to miss the shot. Django is going to find Fish, so that's called out. Now Wallen, last alive, probably knows, knows there's a player. He's going to choose not to take this kill because he's trying to find a second. It's going to be interesting to see if this pays off, but it does give his team more time. Well, not his team, but him more time to find a second kill. Doesn't wind up finding the kill. Gerbs is ready. Probably saw Wallen through the crack there. Chooses not to shoot. And I expect to see Gerbs get this. There's also a player, Rubble, who's going to have a sight line on Wallen. And again, Gerbs up on the shelf. Nobody expects somebody to be that high, and their sights are blocking the angle up high. So that is halftime. It's 5-5. Again, even round count, but RG is now switching to the advantage side. So RG is probably in a stronger position. We will have to see who's doing what. Let's take a quick look at loadouts. It looks like we've got an AK 74U on NSAM and what might be FALs on everybody else for the insurgents. We've got a Tavor on Gerb. We've got a G3 on Residue. That's an interesting choice. Looks like Django's got the MP5. He will be the flanker, but he's not going B. Gerb's usually the B player, it's been looking like. Nobody's contesting B. Gerbs is going to try and push up now. Lucky that that smoke is down. Obviously, that's his team's plan. Able to stay B. Easy's on the other end. Gerb's going for a wallbang, not getting anything. No kills coming in yet. Well, as I say that, Simmer gets a frag onto Wallen. Residue gets a frag onto Easy. Now it's a 3v5. Fish super wide on the map. As Fish is able to actually find a kill there on Residue. But Django's up and marked. RG has a convincing hold on B. It's going to be interesting to see if Rage can make a move. Fish is obviously going to try and touch A here. But an A cap is not as helpful as a B cap. Django going to find this player behind B. He doesn't see him. But he's going to know that they're contested now. That's going to be called out. I don't think he saw that player low billboard. Django's walking between enemies. Not finding any kills. Plahota finds Gerbs on B. Django responds by killing Ensim off of B. Plahota not able to get that kill. So Django's going to cap B. Plahota really needed to finish that kill. Gets the kill on Django now, but there's two coming from Swan. Taken out by Simmer, who's at the dumpster behind B. Or the trash can, at least. Fish last alive on his team. He's probably got time to make this cap. But he's going to get pinched, and the spawn camp, as we see... Yeah, Fish will get this cap. He's going to kill this player who enters. You can see him. Doesn't get the kill. That's awful. Unfortunately, Fish gives up a lot of ground. We're going to see Simmer leave the objective because it looks like RG is going to focus entirely on A and B strat. So Simmer's going to try and take a position probably on Chef. Residue is going to focus on stopping Rage from getting to B. He shouldn't peek this door. He's going to... Well, I guess nobody's there, but getting sniped from this road is very common. And we're going to have to see... Dinked trying to hold market. He has the... Oh, he has a scope. Surprised, but Dinked is going to get that kill. Easy tries to run right in. So Residue is just going to try and hold this, and Plahota's going to try and touch B. But he's going to get taken out. That's always going to be a hard push. Wallen's going to get shot from behind by Simmer, and that's the round. So again, RG pretty much in control that whole round. Able to go up 6-5. This is a close game. I'm surprised at the loadout sort of uniqueness and flexibility on RG's part. Dinked is running the SASS, which is the new marksman rifle. It's on the assault class though. And he's running it with a scope, toggleable scope, which is unusual, not unheard of. But we've also got Gerbs, who I believe is running, if he pulls it out. That's a Tavor. And then we've got Residue running a G3, which is not seen often because of the extremely low fire rate. It does have very easy recoil, so if he's playing a longer range, that would make sense, but usually people will just tap fire with an M14 if they want to be more accurate. So interesting to see what Residue finds valuable. It may just be a supply cost issue. He may need more frags and smokes than he could otherwise afford. Oh, he is able to get that shot onto Django going into B. He is going to get naded in return by Wallen. Gerb's able to take out Ensom on B. So B's not clear. He's going to see this player broken. The player was not ready. Wallen goes down to Gerbs, and Gerbs again, B control, very strong. Plahota, I wasn't able to get there in time, but he was able to take out Gerbs. So Fish and Plahota both trying to make it happen. It's a 2v2, but RG in a much better position. Simmer should look towards A. They know they have a river player, which is what he's worried about, but Plahota has rotated all the way to the other side. Now he's given up his position by shooting. Fish is still completely out of the fight. He's going to go A. And Gerbs is going to get the peek on Plahota. So this is going to be, again, Fish last alive on A. There's not a whole lot of a chance for this to work. He's going to get this cap eventually, but the spawn wave may make it to him in time to interrupt, and Gerbs is going to have progress on C. So it's going to be interesting if Fish can even make something out of this, even if he gets the cap. Simmer really should be moving to either contest A or spawn camp. They still don't realize that they killed the only player on that side of the map. So it looks like Fish is going to get this cap. RG didn't rush in. And he's going to get one kill here, but now he's called out. He's going to escape these nades. So he's actually in a productive position now. But it looks like Gerbs is going to sit it out on C. I don't know how Fish knows this player is over here. He didn't see him, so he doesn't know. He is going to get shot from side by Dink. So now we're going to have to see what Gerbs can get up to. Gerbs is going to let this cap happen. Oh, barely survives the nade and dips out. Simmer, Gerbs. Simmer looking for a kill. He's going to kill this player going into B. Plahota gets Gerbs, so they're going to be able to recap C, but there's two people over there, and they don't have time They need to contest A and B. They only have 30 seconds. We're going to see Dinked meet somebody trying to rotate to B. Dinked is, yeah, here's the steps. He's going to take this player out. No chance for that player to go anywhere. Now we've got Ensum. Basically, he's got 15 seconds to touch B or they lose. And I don't think he's, yeah, he doesn't see the player cash, so he's about to get taken out. No, Simmer didn't see him either. So he's got, again, 8 seconds to touch B or they lose. I don't think he, yeah, he's got to move. But he is going to touch with 3 seconds remaining. He doesn't know Dinked is here. Dinked looking for him and is going to shoot him. So now B's clear. All Dinked needs to do is touch and decap. Our Rage has to push out of spawn. Again, RG not aware that the players are all at the other end of the map, but RG is going to decap, and that will be the round win on point control, objective control. Time has expired, and they control 2 out of 3 uncontested. They will win. So again, Rage really putting Fish out there on the wing to kind of lone wolf it and try and put something together at the end of the map. I would be interested to see if it would help their team more if Fish were to play more on Chef or Rubble and actually contribute to the B control. Because Rage is giving away so much control by not really having a 5th player to work in support. It's interesting. So we saw that cross pick from Residue last round. It will be interesting to see if I can find him, if he plans on doing that again. And it'll be interesting to see if Ensam tries to take the same route to B, knowing that he might get picked. This is not a conventional cross pick. This is something that's, well, Residue's clearly not going the same way, so I'm going to move off of him. Gerb's throwing a smoke, not a nade. There's usually a nade coming in. We'll have to see. Easy doesn't get naded because RG is not throwing the stopper. I don't know what that nade is supposed to accomplish besides stopping a quick push into mid. He nades himself, which, again, counterproductive. And Dinked is going to be able to kill Ensem off of sandbags, I believe. Django's about to get taken out, yep, by Plahota from River. Gerb spraying through. Dinked refrags Plahota coming from River. And now we have Fish, who hasn't gone wide left, but Residue was over there to catch him if he did. So Dinked is going to try and support C, but now we have the reverse because Residue is going to be able to touch. Gerbs does get the wall bang onto wall, and that's lucky or skillful, depending on how you look at it. So Fish last alive. Knows there's a player at the end of this port. I believe Gerbs is just spraying proactively. He's making a lot of noise, so Gerbs knows there's a player behind. I guess he just didn't think he could stand up in time or didn't hear it. Fish last alive. He has to do 50% cap of a decap, and then he can start capping, which means that, wow, lucky shot there, even with the missed accuracy, is able to let him get Simmer. He's still contested. Residue, wow, Fish able to kill Dink. So this is fantastic for Fish. I am shocked it took Residue so long to start capping C. But even with this cap, Fish will be in a better map position himself, but his team will not because they are already down a cap, right? So RG will control A and C. Rage will control B. We will have to see. Residue is going to go for a spawn camp, and if he can trap Rage in their spawn for a significant amount of time, or at least keep them from getting to C, it's going to be Rage versus the world to try and contest A. He's only going to have 30 seconds. So I expect Fish to cap and immediately go A. But as we can see, he's already late because Residue caps first. So Fish is going to get this. He's going to go to spawn kill. RG knows they just need to hold A, at least immediately. So they're going to focus on that A side because they expect Fish to go that way. And Fish is late. He's going to get caught. He's slow. There's going to be RG players waiting for him. Obviously, you know, Fish can still try and shoot them. Fish is going to go down. We're going to hop on with Residue, who's going to shoot many of these players going into C. He's going to get 2. There's another one who doesn't know. That was a bad call out by the team. Yeah, Rage did not communicate well there. Residue able to take out 3 before the team is able to react. Last alive is Plahota on C. And it really doesn't matter if he caps it. He is going to take out Residue there. Nice shot with the MP5. Because he's got to push out and contest B. If they cap B, if RG cap B, they win. And as you see, Simmer pushes in and just finishes the kill. So, again, as expected, the security side is generally speaking considered to be stronger. RG has won 3 straight on this side. Just because the first half was close does not mean that the teams were on equal footing. Rage showing significant lack of control of the map. They did shift Fish into the half wall area, but between yellow and half wall earlier in the round. They didn't send Fish on that super wide route, but RG responded by sending Residue wide to C, and Fish didn't do anything to stop that. So a little bit of a catch-22 if you send somebody wide or not. But regardless, Rage really needs this round. If Rage gets into the hole of 9 and 5, it's going to be very, very, very unlikely they pull themselves out of it. It already is unlikely, but 9 and 5 almost is the nail in the coffin. Gerbs is going to throw a smoke to shield his path onto B. He's going to take a moment to watch a fast push onto market. Rage already has a player on B. Last round, Gerbs was able to wallbang him. It'll be interesting to see if Gerbs tries again. He is going to try. He's shooting at the wrong area. He doesn't know that. Django Fett is pushed way up into market. And Simmer is able to nade easy off of B, and Django gets a kill on Plahota in market. Fish is over here trapped between two. Well, not trapped, but very close. He's going to get shot in the side by Simmer. Ensam, really the only non-B player left alive who can do anything for Rage. It sounds like Django's about to nade the guy in cash. That should have been called out. It was. Ensam responds to the nade pull, and Wallen's able to stay alive. So Django gives up his life there for nothing, unfortunately. But at the same time, Residue going to C. So RG knows they can sit on this contested objective and just wait it out because they have the third player going for a cap. Simmer gets spotted as he leans away or moves away from that edge. So now we're going to see Ensam trying to hunt him. Simmer, though, just holding. Again, RG doesn't need this B cap. They don't have to fight it. I'm shocked that Gerbs has put himself out here even to be this vulnerable. Ensam does find Simmer. So now it's a 2v1. Gerbs is able to respond with a kill. Ensam needs to find this kill and try and cap B. It really is over, though. He barely misses Gerbs on the porch, and Gerbs is going to see him and shoot him. And that's the round. And again, Residue did have the C cap, so there was all the reinforcements coming, which allowed RG to be a little more aggressive. I am surprised they were willing to trade at all. Usually you would see a team just sort of hunker down and wait for reinforcements at that point, but different gameplay styles. We know Gerbs to be an aggressive player. RG not a team to sit on their heels and wait for the enemy to come to them. So right now we're at 9 and 5, and again, Rage obviously has the mathematical chance to come back and win 6 rounds in a row or 5 rounds in a row, but RG is pretty certainly going to lock this up in the next few rounds. Want to see... I'm going to try and decide which Rage player is worth following as we see them spread out. A lot of these players are switching positions round to round, so it's a little bit inconsistent who's going where, as we see Ensam going closer to Riverside. Lahoda's going to nade market. Wallen and I believe that... Oh, no. Let's see. Wallen going to push up onto... Rubble. Wallen gets the nade onto Residue. Dinkt is able to kill easy off of B, I assume. Gerbs gets shot up from market, so there's nobody on B. Wallen's going to touch. And he is safe. Dinkt able to take out Plahota. Dinkt doing excellent work off of bunker side. He's not using a marksman rifle anymore. He's switched to the L85. Low recoil, but interesting choice with the low rate of fire. Wallen knows he's stale, and Fish is looking for shots. But right now there's nothing for him to see. Ensam doing the same. Creeping slowly. The top Shrine player is looking for Fish to come this way, but Fish elects to stay on the ground. Not making noise means that this Shrine player and him may float right past each other and not be aware. Fish heard that, I believe. If he looks the right way, he may see this player behind Bus. He's getting shot by the player by Bus because Fish does not see it. Ensam's going to react to that and look, but doesn't know exactly where it is. I don't think Fish knew specifically where the shot came from. Ensam trade. Oh no, gets dinked, but Simmer from top Shrine is able to take him out simultaneously. So now the last player alive is Wallen. Knows there's another one coming, trying to wallbang. It's going to be interesting to see how Simmer tries to pinch. It looks like Simmer may just go wide. They may not even try and pinch. Django ready for the gunfight and does take out Wallen as he pushes in, which was the right choice probably because I think he heard Simmer going wide to touch C, but it's still a rough position to be in. So, RG, 10 rounds. Rage obviously could win 5 in a row to tie it. Not that that's likely. But I expect we're about to see the end of this half. I don't believe RG has lost a round in this half. As I mentioned, security side is favored. And Rage's play on Insurgent side does not seem to have the same map control that they had on security side. They weren't dominant on security side, but they at least were in the mix and competing. Whereas on this security, on this insurgent side from Rage, it really seems like they don't have a plan, or the plan's not working at least. Because every round they get into a losing situation. No cross pick from Residue. Simmer playing bunker. Django pushing up into market aggressively. Not spotted. We're going to see Easy lay down in cash. Wallen does take out Gerbs on B. That's huge. Dinked kills Ensom. Wallen gets Residue. And Easy takes out Django Fett. So just like that, Rage is actually in a great position now. It's a 2v4. And they are capping B. Plahota. Oh. Simmer does take out Easy off of B. So they're going to know where that nade came from. Or at least Wallen should know where that nade came from. The dumpster. Plahota is able to take out Dink. So he should be able to contest. And Fish takes out Simmer over by A. So lots of kills in quick succession. And Rage does get a round. So whatever RG decided to do that round didn't work, or at least Rage was able to adapt and finally find a strategy to take a round. They're in such a hole, it's going to be difficult. But if they do bring it to 10 and 10, we will head to overtime and play some extra rounds. Django, I'm going to sit with at the beginning of this round. He's pushing aggressively up into market, which is getting his team a lot of control and making it harder for the B cash player on Insurgent side from Rage to stay alive. But last round it didn't pay off, which I was a little bit surprised with. Overall, though, Django's been very successful this half on market. So, Simmer using an M16, or is that just a UI bug? Can't tell. I'm gonna stick with. Oh, I can't find him now. Django didn't push up, so I'm gonna hop on with Gerbs on B. He's gonna go for this wallbang and miss. No, not even trying to take the wallbang. We'll see if Django, who is in market now, not as far up, he's gonna try and nade cash. That nade coming in will get the kill, so they've cleared B, and Django's gonna push up, got sandbag control. A little bit exposed. Wallen's gonna take. No! Django turns and gets Wallen. Excellent shot. Now he's gonna duck into Billboard. Plahota, flanking from River, is able to get the kill onto Residue. Answers with a kill on Fish way outside where Fish loves to play. Plahota sees the guy top shrine, but is not able to get the shots off before the man prones out. So Ensom's going to run around Billboard. He's still looking for Django, but Gerbs has the B cap. Django finds Plahota, and that's it. Quick trades out, able to clear the map, and RG is able to finish that game. 11-6, a decisive victory, not an uncompetitive victory, but again, it was all the second half. Rage had almost no control while they were Insurgents, and that's just the unfortunate reality of whatever strategy they were trying was not working. So we're going to get set on a new server and switch to a new map. It'll either be Tideway or Ministry. I'm not sure which. And I'll be back with you shortly. Sit tight, and I hope you're enjoying this match in DGL Season 4 Round 2. Alright, folks. Second map is Ministry. Teams are getting set up. Looks like Rage will start as the security team for the pistol round. This is the map that RG chose, and it's being played on a server that RG has selected, which means that Rage gets to pick sides for pistols, and then obviously the winner of the pistol will pick the starting side for the game overall. Ministry, generally speaking, is a balanced map. There's obviously differences in which team controls which objective to start, and there's a little bit of timing difference, obviously. But overall, it's a very, mirrored map. So this game often comes down to who has a better strategy and who has a better ability to just frag, gun skill. So we will see. Hopefully there isn't too much of a delay. This might be Pistols live. And we'll have to see what the two teams do for a spread. We're going to see a lot of people contesting A. I would expect both teams to put somebody, maybe two people A, because bout control is so critical. We're going to have to see who plays B as well, because not so much for the pistol rounds, but as we get into the rifle rounds, the sight line across B is very lethal, and a lot of times it becomes an aim duel at the beginning of the round to shoot across B. The timing is not friendly, and the bushes, unfortunately, are somewhat client-sided, so a strict aim duel gunfight across B often decides control over there. Obviously, there's strategy of tunnels and outside and throwing nades and things to disrupt that, but this map obviously hails from Source. Been played for many, many, many years in the DGL, even before Sandstorm. This is Pistols Live. And interesting enough, all of RG is wearing heavy armor, if the UI can be believed, which is only somewhat certain. And most of Rage is wearing heavy armor. Easy has 2 nades, which may or may not be true, because obviously the UI is not fully correct. Sometimes it just glitches. But he shouldn't have nades. It shouldn't matter, because he's smart enough not to use them, but he's going to push Balk here. Not get contested immediately, wow, taken out immediately by Residue. That's a rough stuff. And as we see, Ensom takes one out on A. Fishy's down at C, uncontested. Ensom gets Django. Residue's going to come out on Balk, looking for a Balk player. As you can see, everybody playing for A. Ensom is out here on B and killed one to clear it, but the focus really is on A. Residue holding Balk. Gerb's contesting. Fish is in the basement capping, though. Just like Ensom is capping. Simmer takes out Ensom on B, so that's not even a threat anymore. Simmer gets the second one, Wallen, and Fish gets Charlie after killing Dinked. So both teams are going to have a respawn, but RG's respawn is going to be significantly delayed because they have to finish capping it. Rage is going to go for flank. Residue kills Wallen. Easy trying to come up to A. He's going to get taken out by Residue as well. Simmer looking for this player, is able to get the kill onto Ensam on the windows. Last alive is Fish. He's able to contest A, so he has stopped the respawn, but is it enough? He is able to get one. Good shots onto Gerb. Again, armor and a pistol round, very important. Allows you to survive shots. He doesn't truly know that there's a player mid here, but obviously suspects he's creeping. He's going to run dry on ammo and get peeked, as he's got a very large mag, being a Glock, but
down on the ground.
oh, wild shot from Fish to get Residue. He knows he has to contest B, otherwise the respawn will make the round moot. He's barely touching in time, is spotted. He does get the shot onto Simmer. It's a good clutch up by Fish, able to pull the pistol round in his favor. Again, more of a balanced map. The sides definitely matter, but not as sided as Hideout, at least that I'm aware. Obviously, all the strategies are different, and we will have to see how the teams handle it, but Rage will get their preferred side to start this map. And we will just have to see. Need one of these players to spawn in so I can get a real viewpoint. There we go. So RG has opted to play as the security to start, which is, it gives them a couple of advantages. One of the significant ones is that they control A to begin with, which means that they can send one person to C to get a free cap. I would not be shocked if Fish likes to do that, being kind of the lone wolf roamer, as we've been seeing. So Fish going down to C. The map is going to be difficult, unfortunately, because all of the objectives are layered on top of each other. I will do my best to try and move to the parts of the game that are relevant, but it will be a little trickier than on a map like Hideout where it's all spread out. It's very hard to tell who's on C and who's on B when we look at the overlay map. When we're talking about loadouts, Dinkt does have his Garand with a scope again, and it looks like he's prepping to go outside. He may just be doing that for fun, but I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to go outside for the real rounds. Simmer, it says he's got an FAL, can't prove it. Residue really likes that that FAMAS. Django, as usual, is their submachine gun player with the MP5. And I would be shocked if Gerbs doesn't have an FAL. There he does. So, a little bit unsure about Simmer, probably still using an FAL. And then for the security players, we've got Wallen with an M4, which is not unusual, or it's not extremely unusual. It's not exactly the meta, but it works just fine. Everybody else looks like they're an M14 user, besides Ensam, who I believe that is the Honey Badger. So the Honey Badger offering... No, Easy also has an M4. So we've got two M4s, we've got two M14s, and Ensam, that may be an M16 with a tan skin, I can never tell. So yeah, that's an M16. Or M18, MK18 I should say, not M16. It's an MK18, the flanker's version of the M4. So it's interesting. We've got a lot of two-shot weapons coming out of Rage. I don't know. Now, at the same time, Residue's using a two-shot weapon with the FAMAS, but usually the rate of fire is considered to be enough of a benefit that it doesn't detract from your team as much. I want to see Easy wherever he is, because if he plays it like the pistol round, looks like this is not live. They've canceled that start. I believe Easy is going to be pushing Bell. So I'd like to see if we can watch Easy do this, because it's a good push to watch, and it dictates a lot of the map control. Balk is the power position on this map, the singular most important spot. It's not even on an objective. Obviously, it's right next to A, so it helps you contest it. But if you control Balk, it's very hard for the enemies to cap B. It's very hard for them to cap A. It allows you to get places quickly. If you don't control Balk, none of that's true, and you're going to suffer. So it looks like we're going to see Lahota maybe had a better spawn, pushes up, but dips down into his side of balcony before looking. Nobody coming in with a nade kill. We do see Dinks way wide with this scope. I don't think he's going to see anything. Ensem on a stair, throwing a nade. Doesn't get anything with the nade. Okay. Wallen nades Simmer, and Django gets 2 kills before Fish trades out for Django. So it's still a 3v3. Wallen gets Gerbs. He doesn't know that Dinkt is to his left at the window, so Dinkt's going to get that kill. Now Dinkt is capping B. Residue's job is to stay alive. Fish has gone down to C, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he has. So Residue's going to sit on this. Dinkt is going to get this B cap here in a second. And Fish is going to work to try and get the C cap, but he doesn't have time. They should be able to contest him if RG chooses to. They may focus on A, because again, A control is so important. Dinkt watching for a Balk player. Surprised he's not rotating, but he's choosing to play this long sightline. Fish is going to get 1 spawn camp, or spawn kill, taken out before he gets the cap. I didn't like that he was dipping out to try and move. Needed to focus on getting the cap. Now his team is left in an awkward spot because Easy, last alive on A, knows there's one still on the objective, able to get a kill onto Residue, and peaks Simmer, unfortunately, in a way that just lets Simmer get the first shot off. Doesn't even see him. But again, that Fish move to show himself to the players coming out of spawn is unusual. He was a second from capping. If he waits for that cap, it's a whole different round because Rage is able to flood out of their spawn. But instead, Fish doesn't get the cap. Easy is left to 2v1 on A with Dinkt in support. It doesn't work. So again, Dinkt playing outside with the Garand is highly unusual. You'll see people play outside, but the Garand is not usually the weapon to do it with. The Garand is on the same class that gets an FAL. Dinkt could very easily put, a scope on the FAL, or 2 times even, and do kind of the same job. This is obviously not a live round. Somebody's needed to restart real quick. So, interesting strategy to take the Garand. It has high damage and penetration, obviously, and it's very lethal, but 8 shots in the clip, which is actually a clip. 8 shots in the clip with a slow reload and an audible reload. The only weapon that has an audible reload. At least an audible empty sound. Not exactly sure what we're waiting on. I'm sure one of the players is having a temporary difficulty. We should be good to go here in the next 20 seconds. I wasn't able to catch it last round, but it'll be interesting to see. Whoops. It'll be interesting to see which team is winning the under A area, what most teams would call reception or desk. I'm not sure who was playing there. Again, the map, everything is stacked on top of each other, so it was a little bit hard for me to track who was going where, but under A can be a very powerful position because it lets you support B and also push up onto Balk, even if you don't win the original Balk fight. So the teams may not be playing people there, but if they are, it'll be interesting to see who's winning that gunfight because it is one of the pivotal flank or positions on the map. Again, not sure what we're waiting on. Looks like I assume somebody needed to either take a bathroom or had a dog, something like that, because we are just waiting. Dinked also has heavy armor, if the UI can be believed, which again, it's never certain, but it says that Dinked has heavy armor, which not only makes him slow, but also slows down his ADS time, which is unusual. I would be shocked if this is true, but if it is true, it's interesting as to what his thought process is. So it looks like RG is going to play a heavy B side. They're only putting 2 towards A, and not both of them, right? So Residue is on A, but whoever this other player is going below. And RG has put 2 people on tunnel, so they're not playing B main either. Ensam looks towards under. Fishy's able to take out Django Fett. Dinked again on the wide flank outside. He's going to find this player at S1. Simmer takes out Fishy. Don't believe Django sees anything. Maybe he does. Ensam going to get killed by Dinked eventually, but Dinked is slow to push up. Residue's just holding and contesting. Easy looking for Simmer and Gerbs both get a kill on B to change everything. So now RG has B control. Residue needs to stay alive. He's going to get pushed because Rage really needs to start capping. And it looks like Easy is focusing on B, which is a little bit of a mistake, but now he's going to push with Plahota. Residue is backed up into long. He is able to get one. He's out of ammo, it looks like, so he gets taken out. And then RG, Simmer able to retrade for Plahota coming up on the Balk. Again, Rage went a little bit slow there. 2 RG players were able to push up to Balk to support Residue on A. Made it difficult for Rage to clear it and stay alive, because as soon as they take the gunfight with Residue, they get refragged. We will have to see how Rage alters their strategy. The 2 important kills from Simmer and Gerbs to clear B entirely early in the round, though, is a huge turning point. So I'll have to try and watch maybe Simmer this round and see. Well, I'll stick with Gerbs. They both went tunnel and both came up the tunnel. I assume maybe they threw nades and then pushed. But it's not traditional to put 2 people in tunnel. Obviously, it's doable. It gets you to B. One of them... No, neither of them are going to hold the tunnel itself. They're both going to push up the stairs. One good nade will take both of them out. That's why this is highly risky. But they see one under. Gerbs barely survived. Should have gotten killed. Gerbs is eventually taken out by Ensam. So Simmer is probably going to focus on contesting. He is going to get naded, but the nade misses. Residue sitting on A. Easy takes out Dinked way outside. They finally nail that down. Simmer gets Easy. And Ensam trades out for Simmer. So now Ensam's capping B, but does get taken out by Django, who came from desk. Django is going to get shot from outside. Wallin. Again, not enough awareness of where the enemies are. Django should have hid from them. Residue clears A. Chooses not to go for the cap because you know the cap progress is so far behind. Looking for Wallin, but if Wallin does his job, yeah, he's outside the window. Residue's not going to find him, and the cap's going to happen. Now, Rage doesn't know that Residue wasn't capping this whole time, so they're going to push A aggressively because they want to contest. They think Residue is 3/4 capped. Residue able to take out 2, knows there's a 3rd there, but the FAMAS has a smaller magazine and shoots very fast. So Residue runs out of ammo after 2, unable to fight the 3rd player. A little bit unfortunate. The high rate of fire is obviously an advantage, but when you get into multiple person gunfights, you struggle to conserve enough ammunition to shoot the remainder. So Rage is able to take their first round. big trades coming in on B. A little bit hard for me to follow it. I apologize if it's not clear. What I may do this round is try and do an overhead view, which some of you will hate, but we're going to go for it anyway. Excuse the motion sickness for a moment. We'll go over here to Balk instead. So we'll get the X-ray on, and as you can see, RG putting 2 underneath. Rage putting, I believe that's Wallen, right onto the corner of S1. The nades are going to come in. The nades misses, but they're going to nade back. That nade, again, Rage's nade misses, but yeah, Ensam pushes up. Django takes him out from desk. Rage is not on the objective. Oh no, Gerbs is. He's in the middle, and he's going to take one out at Rage's balcony stairs. Wallen, about to contest B, knows that there's 2 on, does get taken out by Simmer, peeking from the stairs. And now we're left alive, just Plahota. No, sorry, Fish is also alive. He's capping C, and he's about to get this cap. But Plahota stale on A, so that's not too bad. Now that Fish is alive and gets the cap, that makes his job, Plahota, much safer. Or at least not safe, but comfortable. Just wait. They do take out Plahota. Wallen, slow pushing up. He's going to throw this nade, which is going to give away the fact that he's down here. If he gets a kill, it's worth it. He's going to get naded in return if he's not careful. He does get Django with the nade and is now able to push onto A. Wallen Gerb takes out easy across the map. Ensam and Gerbs are dancing around. Gerbs obviously watching the outside spawn route. Now he's going to turn his attention back to B. Fish is about to... Oh, no, that player's up top. Fish all the way into RG's office. There's a lot of players on A. Residue's able to take out Wallen, so now RG with firm A control. And it looks like Fish and Ensam are going to focus on B, but they're going to get a cap wave coming in. RG's going to have a lot of people to contest this. And I think Fish is going to get taken out here. I think he's, yeah. Dinked able to take him out from Balk. Ensam should know that Balk is going to peek him. Dinked able to peek the stairs. Ensam takes out 2. Residue and Dinked, but he's going to get pinched by Gerbs. There was too many RG players surrounding him for him to be able to stay alive. Once you kill 1, you're going to get called out, so... RG able to take that round, up 3-1. Rage definitely in the mix, and as I mentioned, the fact that Fish can get that C cap because they are on the security team and they don't start with C is huge. Because A caps are usually staled out until late in the round, but the C cap you can get quite early if the other team doesn't contest it. And we haven't seen RG contest C a whole heck of a lot. So I would expect Fish to keep going into the basement, and it's questionable whether or not it's valuable enough, because if Fish caps but RG controls Balkan the whole map and outside, it's hard for Rage to get out of spawn, but we will see whether or not it pays off. It looks like Easy's going to be pushing Balk. We'll try. That's Fish. Can't get to Easy. We'll have to see if a kill comes in. He's going to get naded on Balk, I believe. Okay, well, Ensam goes big on B. Gets 2 killed. One of those was under on Django. The other one was, I'm not sure where, on Dinked. Okay, well, Rage just slays out. The only man left alive is Simmer. Down in tunnel. He's going to get peeked here from Balk, probably, to his right. The Balk player doesn't see him or doesn't look for him. Yeah, Simmer just walking across the middle of B when it's 5v1 is questionable. If you make it, you might get a free kill or 2 when people aren't looking at you, but it's very unusual to see somebody expose themselves that much. So Ensam opened up last round with 2 kills. I imagine at least one of them was on desk, but it looks like RG has shifted to send a lot more people A side. Some of them will be playing under A, and some of them will be on A itself. But I want to hop on board, because RG is not playing their B main. Well, this round it looks like they are, actually, so everything what I say can go out the window. Ensam does get taken out by Gerbs. This is that aim duel that I was mentioning. Gerbs able to stay alive for the opening. Wallen and Fish both get killed. RG in a 3v4, not a terrible position to be in. These bushes, unfortunately, are client side, so I may not see what Dink sees here. Easy takes out Simmer. And Wallen's going to get on B safely to contest. I believe Residue, he's choosing to push. which is a little bit risky, but it's a safe push right now. Nobody's mid waiting for him. Fish's desk, barely 20 feet from Gerbs. He may see Gerbs. Oh, well, Easy's going to find him off of Val. And then Easy's going to find Residue. So, Easy coming in with several clutch kills. Rage able to pull it back to 3-3. This is much better than what they were showing for the first couple rounds. They've either adapted or at a minimum just adjusted their expectations for where RG is going to be. And RG is going to have to do something because whatever they're doing isn't working. They lost a couple rounds in a row. That round we saw them send Simmer and Gerbs to B main, and Gerbs did get a kill out of it, but the rest of the B play did not come together. They were not able to gain significant control. It looks like Dinked is not with a Garand, but with an AK. That's an AKM. Going to be going outside, which is interesting. Rage won't put anybody outside to contest him, though, so he's going to make it outside and use that as a flank. And again, Easy going to push onto Valve. Slowly, though, to avoid a nade. He's going to slide down onto his side and focus on... Okay, Wallen nades Gerb. Easy takes out Residue. Nsam knows this player. He's on that end. Okay, Fishy takes out Django, who went to contest him C, it looks like. Dinked gets a kill from Wallen. I can't find any of these kills on stream, sorry. If Dinked peeks this window, yeah, Dinked is completely nailed down, and Simmer's right below him. So unfortunately, RG is stuck in a hole. There's no map control from them. Two of the Rage players are looking at Dinked right now. He has snuck over one window. If he finds this Black player, that Black player is blocked by a pillar. But now Simmer has touched, which may be more of a giveaway than they wanted to, because now Rage knows there's two players. Dinked does see this player, is able to get the kill. Simmer pushes out, hides from Balk behind this. And remember, there's no cap coming for Rage because they control A already. So they're down on C capturing, but it's going to be a very slow cap, and RG will cap this first because they're double capping. So RG going to have the better map position and one objective, while Rage will have two objectives, but the much worse map position. Plahota's probably going to go up to A. Yeah, Simmer leaves B early to start capping A, and that's also going to allow him to spawn camp. I think he's looking for a gun because he's out of ammo. I could be wrong. Plahota is just going to sit on C, which is interesting. Obviously waiting to see if enemies come. Fish under, probably going to look for these B players. But really, Residue on A is they're going to get this cap. Rage doesn't stop the cap at all. Which with 30 seconds left, it doesn't cap anybody back in, but it puts pressure on Rage to contest something. It may not have been worth capping there from RG's perspective. Easy does get shot. Wallen's contesting A. He knows there's two enemies on. Oh, he misses that shot onto whoever that is mid. Simmer is able to take out Fish. He's looking much worse for Rage. Wallen's about to get naded and doesn't even try and avoid it, obviously hoping the nade just would miss. Plahota's going to go for A, and Nsam's going to try and get B. Like, he'll survive for a little while because he's got the windows, which are good cover, but... Oh, he's going to pick up two. Those are beautiful. Residue does get the refrag. Now, Plahota's last, and they really need this B cap if they're going to have any success. Only two alive left for RG, but Plahota peeks Django in a way that doesn't give him any shot or just doesn't see him quick enough to shoot. The reaction time's making the difference there. So RG earns themselves another round, but this game is very close, and that round even is not a decisive round for either team. It is a fluid and volatile situation. Again, I wonder if Gerbs is actually using armor. It's possible. He's got an AKM. He may find the armor to be helpful because he's hiding outside and using those walls as cover. The armor helps significantly when you're getting wall bangs because of the lower damage of the wall bangs to begin with, but just surprising. It slows him down significantly. As we can see, our Rage has switched to at least 3 of their players using one-shot weapons. They only have one M4 instead of 2. Django's going to get shot by Nsam, which he's been doing all game. I'm surprised Django has not adjusted. And Nsam's going to get a second kill outside. Django does kill Fish with a nade that he threw before dying. And now Simmer's going to kill Easy off of Balk, I believe. Residue with the FAMAS able to just slay the Rage off of A. Gerbs is also down on C, so Nsam and Wallen are going to get this B cap. and work to get some belt control. Oh, this nade! There's a beautiful nade from Wallen. Bad timing on Residue to get that kill, to die to that. It's gonna mean that Rage has time to get to A. Gerb's still here to contest, but he's also got to worry about the spawn camp. Rage choosing not to push in too fast, though. They are waiting in spawn for Gerbs to basically peek them. And Gerbs has to make a decision. He's back on the objective, so they know where he is. And it's going to be hard for him to get a cap. Rage is also capping C, so they have a respawn if they need it. Which means that soon we're going to see them start to play aggressive. But it won't matter, because Gerbs is going to get seen by NSEM and taken out. So again, good round by Rage. Interesting strategy. They were slayed off of A very quickly, but the Wallen and NSAM able to get enough kills on B and work from the low ground up to Balk in order to really control the map. So again, Ministry, a mirrored map in terms of the layout itself, but different strategies for each team because of whether or not you can cap A. And slight different timings on some of the sight lines make all the difference. Now, Django's died, maybe not every round, but many of the rounds from NSEM here at S1, and he keeps trying to peek to throw this nade that Django likes to do. So I'm going to see if NSEM can get that kill into Django once more. We see Wallen takes the pre-fire at B main. Yeah, so Django tries to cross this time, does make it to mid under. NSEM's going to get shot from outside. Residue on A also able to get a kill. He's been doing great work with that. FAMAS, actually Residue, yeah, on Balk, not on A. Dink looking for a player on A, not seeing him. Fish is down in C capping. Wallen looking for this window player who he sees and should get that kill. That works. So now Wallen can start capping, but again, the Balk players are going to start hunting him down. And Plahota is contesting A. He does get the kill onto Dink. That's huge. It means that RG has no cap progress on him. He knows another person has entered, but he has respawns coming from the C cap. Residue is going to peek and kill him. Apologize for missing that. Easy's going to come back. He doesn't know this player's around the corner, but he knows in this vicinity. Nah, Easy's giving up the fact that he's at this angle. He's going to get peeked and shot. Oh, no. Residue gave it up. Fish creeping up to A. Well, NSAM is going to nade Residue from B. NSAM is getting very lucky with those nades. Lucky or skilled, depending on how you want to think about it, because obviously the player was called out. But that middle of A nade from B is quite lethal if you're not ready for it, and they can throw it from pretty much anywhere. So, from anywhere on B, I should say. So with that, we're tied up 5-4. This is the last round of this half, and again, both teams really trading rounds. There's no decisive, clear winner on any of these, at least early on. They're flexible rounds. They're rounds that could go either way. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder if Gerbs is going to go outside with Simmer, or if they're, because it's slower to go this way unless they're going outside. Simmer chooses to go in the regular way, but Gerbs is actually going to go outside. Wallen, I believe, no, that's NSEM. NSEM chooses to go outside this round. Wallen looks for B main, but then gives it up, probably because NSEM told him he was dead. Fishes out into Des. He might contest B from here, but it's a risky business. And Plahota just contesting. So this player right here on Balk, who I'm trying to get to, Residue, is the risky player because he's got the ability to creep and find Fish. Well, Simmer kills Wallen across B finally. Those two were waiting for each other for a long time. And now it looks like Fish is going to C. Yep, doing the safe strat to just defend. Or not defend, but try and get a cap. And Plahota's job is going to be to stay alive. He doesn't know this. Well, good timing to switch. I don't know if he heard something. But he's able to get that kill onto Residue easily. Residue is not ready for somebody to push that far up. Now, obviously, Plahota's called out. Dinkt is going to move up a little bit because he can get mid control, but I think they're just going to let it wait. RG is going to get the cap first on B. Wow, poor peek by Dink. Simmer is able to refrag, so they do clear Plahota off. Nobody's coming A from Rage yet. Well, now 2 are. And Fish staying on C, but again, RG's not sending anybody to contest. Simmer does kill Plahota. Sorry, Gerbs kills Easy. Probably going up to A. Wallen does get Gerb. So that's not A, that was somewhere on B. Wallen outside now. He doesn't peek though, because Residue's waiting for this window play. But Wallen doesn't peek, and instead NSIM's going to come up the stairs. That nade's going to give him away, so Residue knows he's there. saw his gun, may not have recognized it because it's dark on dark, but Residue right now just needs to stay alive. Simmer's looking for these players off of Belk, but just doesn't see any of them. He saw a gun there. He's hunting for this kill, but he's got to be careful he doesn't peek and... Okay, Simmer is able to clear the kill, get the kill. So many RG players on B. A little bit exposed. I'm surprised they're just leaving themselves out to dry. Like, Plahota takes out... Plahota then gets Django Fett. Fish has a kill here on the windows if he looks... He doesn't. We're going to see if Gerbs can find one. Or if Simmer will see. This man's going to come around the corner or not. Yeah. Oh, Simmer shoots early. Plahota is able to duck back. But then he's taken out from the windows. And Fish is last alive, as we see so often. This is a very common theme with Rage. And Residue takes him off from Belk. So that is the half, ending 5-5. And, I mean, you know, just about as even as we could ask. The teams are trading. What's really going to decide this map, obviously, not to state the obvious, but whether or not the teams have significantly different strategies on the reverse side. I mean, if they play a mirror match of each other, we could be looking at overtime, but I wouldn't be surprised if RG has some fancier ideas for the second half. They tend to have less conventional spreads, and they will have the advantage of the C cap if they try to use it. So, RG, I would give, particularly based on the first map, when we saw RG have a dominant strategy the second half. I would say RG is the favored team right now, but that there's obviously nothing that stops Rage from bringing this to a win. If we're looking at loadouts, well, the UI is all wrong because both teams are not security, so I will figure it out as we go. Looks like Rage is going to do a generally speaking even strategy. NSAM going tunnel, Wallen going B, and then 3 A side. One of them's, I'm sure, underneath. Fish playing underneath. There is one underneath here to meet him, which is not something that Rage was doing at all. So Django Fett makes it into the reception, but Fish is on the flank, may go up to A, and get Gerbs and Residue in the back if he can move up these stairs quickly but quietly. He's going to find at least one. Okay, Easy takes Gerbs. Fish takes another, so now they've got most of A control. Django does take one out on the stairs, and some getting shot there. I don't know if they know this player is at B main, but Wallen looking for kills. Sees one. Wow. Client-side hit registration to a certain degree. But Wallen, as soon as he tries to touch B, is going to get killed. Easy misses that shot, which is just unfortunate because it just means he's not going to be able to get this cap. Fish able to kill Dink outside. And Easy just misses Django on A. So now last alive is Fish on B. Django shoots at him, saw him, knows he went stairs. Fish, he doesn't have a C cap. So I'm not sure what this plan is. Django about to cap. So Fish probably just threw that round. He probably thought he could cap C. But in a 5v1 now, Fish was like, the only idea I had was maybe Fish was going to try and sneak over to A because he could cap that, but he's not even going to get there in time. Django's back on A clearing, and he's going to be able to hold this scissor. They know where Fish can come from. Fish has no play at this point. He's basically hoping he can kill 5 people. The only advantage he has is that RG doesn't have a clue where he is, so they're dispersed. They've spread out. There's going to be a much harder rotation, not rotation, but refrag, because everybody is spread out. Fish has enough room to breathe, but he knows there's one on. He's going to peek and get the kill, so that's a good peek. So now it's a 3v1. But RG also capping C, so they've got another respawn coming. So Fish is still trying to just slay to try and eventually get a win. Fish saw one there. He is going to get that kill. Fish doing great work. 3 kills now, since it was a 5v1. 4 kills now. Excellent. But again, there's a respawn coming, so it's still 3v1, and he just got spotted from long, I believe. He's going to jump down to B because he's out of time and he has to contest B. He doesn't have time to stay for a spawn camp, nor does he have time to actually get a cap. So he's trying to just contest both of these objectives, and RG is able to decap in time. I mean, Fish, excellent individual skill, but there's no map control to support a victory there because RG has too many respawns and too much map control and too many objectives. So Rage is going to have to find a way. keep more of a presence if they want to win that round. Because one person alive. This map is... It's probably one of the better maps to try in 1v3 or 1v2, but obviously any map it makes it difficult. And again, RG is on the side that can cap C at the beginning. Oh, Ensem. Excellent shot outside on Dink. He might not even know he got that kill, but it's an excellent shot. Residue also capping. Fish and Wallen both get kills. Gerbs gets another one. So it's now a 2v4, which is not good for RG. I thought there was an enemy that Gerbs was about to peek, but they're just barely hidden from each other. As you can see around that bump in the corner. So Gerbs is about to walk into this gunfight, but he's going to see the elbow first. Residue about to cap C. Gerbs cap... Residue cap C. Gerbs defending A. Fish now capping. Fish able to find that player, Django Fett through the smoke. Simmer over here on B's got 2 players to contest with. And Residue is just sitting on C still. They're really focused on holding that C for a moment. Now he's going to rotate up into their office and look for kills. But it's a 2v4 with, well, now 5. Since Rage was able to cap A. And Simmer's kind of just looking for a kill, and he's going to get picked off from Balk. Fish on Balk. Last player alive is Residue. He knows there's one coming from Spawn, but the player from Spawn... I mean, it's a kill. Well, it doesn't even get the kill, unfortunately. Residue in a terrible situation now. He's going to just get pinched. Yeah, he doesn't even know the player's coming from B main. So that's unfortunate. Tied up at 6-6. Rage able to pull that round without a sweat. RG not even really in a position to contest or contend. So, again, this map very, very possibly could be going into overtime, or at least be a 9-11 win. Neither team seems to have a strategy that the other can't handle. Every round or two, people are switching positions, and every round or two, the advantage is changing. So, again, this map probably the longest, I mean, definitely the longest played map in Insurgency, since we did play it in Source, and it's the only map that's been cloned 1-to-1 to Sandstorm. But Residue's not going to meet anybody down on C. Gerbs takes bout control. Now is going to get peeked. Does get the kill onto Plahota. Plahota looked like he went back into A, which is a little confusing. Gerbs, terrible timing, just FPS timing to not get that shot, but he will get this nade. Yeah, is able to clean up easy. Fish gets Django somewhere else. Ensam going way wide. Fish and Ensam last 2 alive with RG controlling the whole center of the map. They're going to get a C cap. They cap with only 1 person dead, which is not unusual, but noteworthy. And Fish trying to come into B to pinch with Ensam. Fish does get Gerbs, which is important, but he's going to get taken out as he slides in. Simmer taking him out there. And Fish just saw this player, so needs to shoot Simmer, but they're kind of ring around the rosying. And Fish is going to get taken out from Belk by the other RG players, who are obviously responding to the last man alive. So, quick round for IG there. They just needed to win more gunfights, not necessarily a strategy problem, but Gerbs getting those 2 kills off of Balk, 1 on Balk and then 1 into short A, really locked down that top half of the map. And then, I mean, Ensam going that wide around the outside of B can be extremely beneficial if the round gets to be more of a stalemate, where there's many people alive and everybody's hunkered down and contesting objectives. But when he's that wide late in the round, and everybody on his team is dead besides Fish, it's much harder for him to make something happen because the windows are just not... They're a safe position, but they're not a position that's easy to push out of. So it's hard to make something happen from the windows coming into B. Comparatively, at least. So we're going to see if Gerb can get onto Balk. He does zip down onto these stairs like many people are doing. Shots coming in across B. Django does get Fish. I believe that's under... Plahota does kill Dink. That's on A, I believe. Again, all this could be wrong. Simmer contesting B. Pushing out in the open. He's going to get picked up by Ensam if he comes too much further forward. Never mind. Wallen finds him anyway. So Residue is going to get this C cap, and Gerbs is able to shoot one off of Balk. he can stop. Now he's going to get taken off by Easy, who's in the reception. The C cap does come in. 3 people coming out of spawn. Residue is going to try and just lock down C for a little while. Keep the objective pressure up. Ooh, bad timing on Easy's part. Should have known the players were coming from spawn. So Simmer gets a free kill there. Django's gonna... This is a very risky push just straight into B main, but nobody's watching it. Probably because everybody expects it to be too risky to do. So Django able to just sort of walk on to C. He doesn't know this player's to his left. He's going to get shot in the back by Plahota. Dink knows the player's in the windows now. So as we can see, Simmer's looking for it. Residue picks up Easy. Residue going for the spawn camp to prevent players to get to A. So RG in a great scenario situation where they've got A and C and obviously are capping B. Rage is just sitting outside. I guess they've got a couple players going downstairs. They got 1 player going downstairs, but really they're going to have to make a play for B, which they're doing, but it's not the side. I mean, windows are safe, but okay, Fish is able to take out 1. He's going to look for this other player mid. There's 2 people here, so this guy... Wow, Wallen takes him out. The Insurgent B main. Now this Valk player is not spotted, so Residue needs to try and slay out because he's last alive. And Rage's Gambit is paid off. Residue does get another, but Rage is capping C and they're defending B. Residue has to make a move on one of them. He's going to choose to get on B. He doesn't know this player's mid-planter, which means Residue's about to die. Yeah. Again, sight lines through those planters are always iffy. But Residue just had no knowledge of where the player on B was, where Fish was, so was peeking really the wrong areas completely. Should have known that he was not in the staircases, but regardless. 7-7. One of the closest matches I've seen in a long time. The concern I had of RG having a dominant strategy on the second half has not happened. Both of the teams are trading round for round, and it really comes down to who gets the opening kills and who maintains a little bit of map control. RG went with a heavy B outside play after the respawn, and I was surprised, but it paid off for them entirely. Rage was able to push in from outside into B, and very decidedly just sort of slay their way into a victory. They had enough map control and enough scenario objectives contested. They were able to afford to do that. Gerbs bonks into a nade, but is able to slide away to safety. But he's going to get seen, taken out by Wallen on B, who then gets traded out by Simmer. Residue dies to Fish. That's in desk. Reception. Simmer staled on B, with Ensem being opposite him. Residue is going to get the C cap, which will put the advantage into RG. But they're only going to cap Gerbs in. So while it's an objective advantage, obviously, Rage now has to contest more things if we run out of time. They are only getting 1 extra player out of it. Residue, though, creeping up to A. No, under A. I think he's going to creep up to A, though. This is the flank that will change things, because unless Ensam dies on B, Residue is the only moving piece right now. Everybody else is just locked down, staling. I shouldn't say that. It looks like Easy's actually capping C. But Residue going to find this player. Wow, terrible timing. Unfortunately, Plahota does get a kill on A onto Dink, so it's a trade instead of just a free kill. But A is clear. They're going to try and get to C and contest. Django and Simmer are pushing this window player. They know he's here, and they've slow walked the whole way, so they get the kill. Easy was contested, and now there's 2 players on. Residue and Gerbs are both contesting C, and Gerbs finds Easy in time to get the kill. So RG able to clean that round up, even though it was messy, and Rage had strong positioning. RG just had the 1 extra player and the respawn, which gave them enough flexibility to send Residue on the flank. That long A flank paid off.